Hey everybody, Israel here with Legacy Power Sports and RV. We have the one and only Rob Miller from Northwood Manufacturing to come and explain some of the new changes for model year 2026. If you're a fan of Northwood's Arctic Fox brand or Nash brands, you've certainly heard of a Nash or an Arctic Fox throughout the years, but maybe you haven't heard of an Arctic Fox Edge or an Arctic Fox NXT. Today we get to pick this man's brain to explain all the sub-brands new for model year 2026. Is that right?
That's right. Here we go. So we'll start out with our Nash. So all of these built right here in Eastern Oregon at our facility out by the airport here in Grande, Oregon. We start out with Nash. Now this particular one is a Nash Camp. So our Nash brand, we've got our Nash Camp, we've got our standard Nash and our OTG Nash, all built on the same world-class chassis, laminated sidewalls, R14 ceilings, all separated by feature content in those guys, and all separated in the price hierarchy as it goes through that. So these guys, as we take that next step into the NXT. So NXT, for what it is, will be replacing the North Fork brand as we know it today as a sub-brand of the Arctic Fox. So a lot of the same equipment, and a lot of some goodies that it comes along with. Standard features and so on are going to be fairly consistent with that. So as we move in now to the Edge, these guys have all the features, all the solar, all the technology as we move through that with all the world-class build quality that Northwood brings to the table.
Cool. So if it's all right with you, we'll take a couple minutes, maybe dive into each of these sub-brands individually and kind of go into the weeds, if you will, or and discuss all the features in these sub-brands. Does that work with you, Rob?
Absolutely.
So Rob, let me get this straight. Would you say the Nash Camp is the introductory Nash sub-brand?
That's absolutely true. So inside of our Nash family of travel trailers, we have basically three tiers. The Nash Camp, as Izzy said, is the introductory pricing. So fewer standard features, fewer available options comparatively with the same quality Northwood build. So from there into the standard Nash. The standard Nash, and again, same world-class chassis, same construction, same everything, more standard features, more available options. Now you take that standard Nash and you add the OTG or off the grid package, which adds a whole family of items in one option that separates the Camp, the standard Nash, and the OTG inside of the price hierarchy, not necessarily related in any regard to quality of the Nash travel trailers.
I mean, in the way that I like to remember it is that Nash Camp, the camp is red, and it's like going back to basics. We're going back to basics camping, and it would be kind of, I think of it as like a family. Hey, we're going to get back on the outdoors and enjoy the RV, or use our RV to enjoy the outdoors and rather the other way around. Anyway, what's something that we could go into to show the viewers that would be maybe a Nash Camp exclusive or a feature here on this?
So your Nash Camp and what separates it in the world of Nash family travel trailers, one big one, standard windows on these are single pane, where everything else we use are thermal windows. Standard steps are on all of our Nash offering. One other addition as it goes through are 15-inch tires and wheels on those. Everything else moving into 2026 are on 16-inch wheels. So from there, no ladder, no roof rack, a couple other less features as that differentiates its price in the market compared to the standard Nash.
Sorry to cut you off. It sounds like maybe you got rid of maybe all the features or the ones that were options, and without sacrificing any of the, well, first off, build quality and
Yeah.
four-season insulation that you guys are known for,
Yeah, absolutely.
and found a way to kind of have an entry-level price point for families that don't necessarily have 70, 80 grand to spend on a brand
Yeah,
new
and
RV.
that's absolutely the case for sure, as it is. So yeah, these guys are just going to be your basic travel trailer, great for family use. We've actually built them in both of our bunk models, the 24B and 29S, We've moved on later to schedule that production in other Nash floor plans, and moving ahead into the 2026 model year, we'll see that family grow. We'll see that number of Nash products kind of grow into that as we schedule more production into the future of this year. So
Cool. Should we spend maybe a couple of minutes looking at some features on the inside?
we can go in.
Cool. Well, geez, Rob, once we're in here, I mean, it really seems like it's hard to tell the difference between a Nash camp and the rest of the Nash product line.
That's absolutely true, Izzy. So once you're inside, you see all the great Northwood stuff. You see all the badging. They all share this great 10 cubic foot Furrion Arctic 12-volt refrigerator. The same Furrion stoves, Furrion microwaves, televisions, hardwood cabinet doors. All the feature fabric and everything is trickled down from what was Arctic Fox as we move into that world. Membrane press countertops, stainless steel sinks. So you've got a lot of really nice amenities nonetheless inside of this Nash camp, which again is our base model Nash, kind of designed for that family use, and those folks that maybe aren't ready to get into that $100,000 RV market, as far as that goes, and still having a quality built 4-season Northwood product.
And not to give away too much of what's to come in the video, but it really does seem like that 2026 model year, it is that story you hear over and over again. Northwood Manufacturing offering a lot more features, either for the same amount of money or for less in some cases, as you're going to explain here in a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, for sure. So pricing moving ahead is going to be very exciting, as far as that is. So we're really stoked for this upcoming model year and the products that we're offering, and we'll get into the differences in that Arctic Fox program as we get over to those guys. So,
great. Can't wait to hear all about it. Okay, now we're getting into the exciting stuff, Rob. What the heck is an Arctic Fox NXT?
You guys, this is 2026. This is the next product. So basically, as the sub brand goes, it's replacing North Fork. So a lot of the same. Northwood, true 4-season coach, custom chassis, laminated walls, the whole build quality and construction. These guys are going to bring all those options to the plate. So what we're adding to these are new floor plans. So we're going to see kind of that progression of NXT and another lineup that we're going to get to here in a second, that they're going to share common floor plans with different option tiers and different price levels inside that market in that same quality construction. So
I mean, it's hard to say about an Arctic Fox really, but would it be okay to think about the NXT as maybe your introductory Arctic Fox?
In a manner of speaking, it is. Yeah. So this is the base Arctic Fox travel trailer, and that trim level in the NXT is that base. So a step above Nash, all 3 tiers into this. So this begins that part of the Arctic Fox journey towards what will be the edge, as we'll get to here in a second. So
you want to be real careful the way you describe these things. You don't want to hurt the feelings of the great minds in the marketing department here at Northwood, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What about some of the features? Or actually, you did say this is a brand new floor plan. I thought it was kind of exciting. The 26MK. What can you tell me about that? A brand new floor plan.
So new floor plan for us, first build. These guys are a mid-kitchen. So the MK is a mid-kitchen 4-season with a rear bathroom. Sort of, I compare it mentally, it's sort of 28F-ish, as far as that goes. So kind of interesting how that is. So with the Arctic Fox program, you're getting the more ride step above. So these are the flip treads, the fold out entry handle. So the option level and the tier level, as far as that goes, is a step up all the way. Yep,
keeps going
absolutely.
Up. Something pretty unique about this floor plan. Sorry, I kind of cut you off.
No,
go ahead, Rob.
That's okay. So 16-inch tires and wheels on everything, and that again includes the NXT, all of our other models. So moving into 2026, we're going to be using on our travel trailers the Moride 3000 suspension equalizer, and that'll be a standard feature on all NXT products moving into the 2026 model year. We're going to see the chill zone on the MK. Kind of an interesting rear kitchen setup on these, a rear entertainment center. We have the EcoFlow. This is a 12-volt cooler, basically, that functions as a refrigerator. So these guys, we can set this up in the middle and have a freezer section and a refrigerator section. And very cool, inside of this is an ice tray. So we can make 18 ice cubes in about 13 minutes with this guy. Now the cool part on these is it is on NXT. We're looking at shore power basically kind of running that. So that's going to need a 110 connection. As we move into other products that we're offering and going to be talking about today, we've got some other options for these guys running through some other equipment that we're putting in those.
Cool. Well, can't wait to hear all about it. Do you think we can spend a couple minutes going over the features on maybe on the inside of the
Absolutely
travel trailer? So I'm looking around here, Rob. See a lot of new stuff. I mean, you want to go into it maybe?
Yeah, absolutely, Izzy. So brand new floor plan for Northwood, the 26MK. So rear bathroom. We have got this pantry design that I think is second to none. Look at all the storage inside of these guys. And true Northwood fashion, these guys go full depth. So they go clear back here with access from the outside generally as it is. So lots of storage. Your booth dinette. This guy folds down into a sleeping platform. Theater seating is the standard Arctic Fox for most of it. The same 10 cubic foot Furrion Arctic 12-volt refrigerator and Furrion appliances. Now as we step into the Arctic Fox name and that brand, solid surface countertops. These guys have been really cool. And this is an acrylic resin countertop on these, so very cool. Now, another Northwood original option is our garbage and recycling trays.
I know that they were really proud of that when they designed that.
And absolutely, yeah, we are at Northwood very proud of this. This is a cool setup with paper towel holder and additional storage behind it. And in true Northwood fashion, solid wood cabinetry all the way through. So everything that we build has solid wood and hardwood cabinet doors.
I was noticing that everything you touch, including that that cabinet back there, is just solid. Anything the solidness that you've come to expect from a Northwood product.
You get that with these guys for sure. And that's what our customers and our dealers alike expect from Northwood Manufacturing. So this is kind of cool as well, and this is something that we've integrated in, is basically a mudroom. So you've got a flip-up storage. You can store your shoes in there. You've got coat racks. You can sit on it, and come in with muddy shoes. You can not muck up the rest of the place. Now, one other cool thing that we're doing is we move into 2026 too, and as we notice here in the slide-out floor, a woven material that's replaced carpet. No more carpet in any of our offerings that way. So we're moving away from carpet that way, which will be great. So
I did notice that this coach is 100% carpet free, and that even the ceiling carpet has been replaced with something that looks way cooler to me.
Yeah, we've gone away from the ozite carpet and everything but our truck campers, and we're not touching base necessarily on those guys today, but interesting, inside the camper, that's for moisture management. So that's a kind of a condensation program. Now these guys being bigger with more floor space, more room inside, we're using these ribbed panels on everything. Now we'll have some differentiation in panels between brands as we move into the 2026 model year. So.
Well, I love the look of them. It really dials in the interior of an Arctic Fox, so you know that you're in a premium quality product.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is very true. Yep, everything inside of this feels quality for sure.
Cool. Should we go check out the Arctic Fox Edge that we're all excited to go see?
Let's go check that Edge out.
So finally, we've come here to the Arctic Fox Edge. So if you're a follower of Northwood of Arctic Fox, you've seen the name. I feel like it was the first one of these new sub-brands, would you say?
Absolutely.
It's been around for a couple of years. I think it came out in 2024. And now for brand new for model year 2026, what can we expect from an Arctic Fox Edge, Rob?
From the Edge. So we take everything that we've seen in our Nash, we take everything we know about the NXT and North Forks, and we throw all that quality build, that same chassis, built right here in Grande, Oregon, all the laminated parts, everything that comes together in that quality construction, and we add all the technology. So what I kind of refer to are bells and whistles, right? You know, so if that market or that RV kind of drives an individual to the upper end, that top end of trim level, the Arctic Fox Edge is that. So moving forward with these guys, 10-gallon LP tanks, the Safari Tough Rack. This guy has a 300-pound weight rating, so a lot of folks will carry a portable generator or other gear on top of that. I've seen bike racks up there, you know, so the end is unlimited as far as it goes. LED lighting. Now, these are work lights. We get a lot of comments on that, you know, because we see the bright lights that these guys can be. These guys are more of a flood for work light, and they're very bright. All Northwood products at this point have that fiberglass cap. So everything gel coated with our badging on it as it moves through that. So
I love the front cap, by the way, of the new Arctic Fox Edge.
yeah, it's very cool. Very cool. It's a very aggressive travel trailer. Now, as we move back in, one thing that differentiates the Edge from the NXT has American-made Goodyear Endurance tires, 16-inch. This guy has Goodyear Wrangler Duratrack on with that, so a more off-road rated tire. With that same CRE 3000 More Ride suspension equalizer is standard equipment on all of these. Again, one other addition on the Edge as far as that tier level goes up, 5-point leveling is standard on all Edge platforms. So that is a real big step up. You know, what would be optional, and we can add it to other models, but that's standard here. So pretty well everything that we see in the NXT, the Edge adds to it. So options in the NXT brand are standard here in the Edge brand. So we talked about the leveling equipment, the tires, the suspension. One giant thing for these guys moving forward into the 2026 model year, standard is the 400 amp hour battery. In the NXT, we have an option for two 100 amp hour batteries and a C4 monitor. The C4 monitor is a small display that just talks about the battery and its charge state and what's coming and going from it. In the Edge, everything that these guys have has the Fox Forward. So the Fox Forward is the multiplex that we can Bluetooth from a phone app, and we can control everything in the coach from our phone, which is pretty cool as far as that is. So we can see the solar charging, we can turn on the inverters. These guys have 1,000 watts of solar standard on top of it. That is the top of the industry. So when we get customers coming into the lot and they're looking for the most, they want the most, Arctic Fox Edge all the way is just that.
And so let me get this straight. We have 1,000 watts of solar standard. We have a 400 amp hour lithium battery standard.
Yep.
We have a 3,000 watt
3,000 watt inverter.
Pure sine wave.
It's an inverter charger, so it does take place of the Charge Wizard that we know in other branding that we have.
And that's not even to talk about the changes and improvements in the interior, right? Which I hear that there's some.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a trip inside here and see what it looks like.
So it looks like we have some pretty exciting features to go over here, Rob, right, in the interior?
Absolutely. That's what the Edge brings to the table, is technology. So right here is the app that controls the Fox Forward that's standard in these guys. Everything this guy does, we can do from our smartphone. So we can turn on the slide out lights. We can turn on the living room lights. We can turn on the bedroom lights, the bathroom lights. We can run the awnings. We can run the slide outs. We can check our tank function. We can turn the inverter on. Everything that we can do on the Fox Forward. And this in the Edge platform takes place of the standard 12-volt control panels that we know so much otherwise. So if a customer is looking for simplicity, kind of the basics, in a luxury quality 4-season RV, that's the NXT. That customer looking for the technology and everything moving forward, Fox Forward brings that to the plate. And this seamlessly integrates everything with the app to talk to the entire coach. And again, it shows us here 100% charged on that battery. The beauty of that 400 amp battery is it'll go down to 5%, delivering 12 volt power the entire time. Comparing that to standard profile batteries, it's probably realistically more like 6 to 8 batteries in one. Considering a 12 volt standard profile, when you get down to 11 volts, things kind of quit working. They stop happening. The lithium will deliver 12 volts all the way to the bottom, and it'll charge up in a fraction of the time. And again, with that 1,000 watts of solar on top of these guys, we can see just how much of that's coming in. Now we can look at that solar array and that battery, and we can see what's coming in real time throughout. We're 100% charged on that, and where it's been. So we can come back and forth to that. We can turn on inverters, lights, we can check our tanks, and everything that we see inside of that on these guys is part of the phone app. So kind of cool how that goes. And again, that's technology. Now, one really cool thing for this, and I get the question a lot, well, what happens if my screen goes out? Now, the cool part about that is the screen is talking to the electronics mounted under the bed in this model. So in all of the Edge platform travel trailers. So we're really only using this for visual. So if something happens to the screen, we can still use our app and it still talks to it. Now, manual slide out controls are wired for both slide outs. So our main living area slide out and our bedroom ward slide out are wired to buttons as well. So that's kind of cool. So there's another little plan B on that as it is. So kind of nice, and Northwood is thinking ahead for that. Now inside, we've got the same hardwood cabinet doors. We've got that same raised panel roof or ceiling. And again, we've got that Furrion Arctic 12 volt, 10 cubic foot refrigerator. So,
And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the way I like to see it, the way I see an Arctic Fox Edge is like, say you're a customer that needs the best built, best insulated coach, but it's very important for you to be like on the cutting edge of technology, to have the most technologically advanced RV. And now it sounds like Arctic Fox or Northwood are no longer making people choose between getting the best built and best insulated coach and now getting something that is close to, if not right on the technological edge,
yeah,
if you will.
most certainly. And that is absolutely the case. That is what the Edge travel trailers bring to the plate. So another step up from the NXT, from what North Fork was, and into the Edge. So we're going to see that moving forward in 2026 model year, common floor plans. So this is the 26KX, so a rear kitchen. We also have this available through our production schedules in the NXT, so we can have the same floor plan with different layers of technology. And they're separated by price in that market. Very similar to what we talked about earlier in our Nash offering between Camp, Standard Nash, and then adding the OTG option to those. So more than anything, the Arctic Fox Edge travel trailers are the off-the-grid Arctic Fox. So a full luxury 4-season travel trailer built right here in the Grande, Oregon, with all the technology, everything added to it.
And you see, I love it. To me, La Grande, Oregon, Eastern Oregon, where we're from, this is a small town. And I love the fact that in our small town, we have a legitimately world-class product. And now we don't have to make any excuses about it. Uh, you want the most technologically advanced. You want something that is nice and fancy to hang out inside of, and the best built, best insulated coach. It looks like maybe now we have an option in Arctic Fox Edge.
Yep. And moving forward, keep an eye out for another video where we're going to highlight some differences in our fifth wheel offering as well.
Great. Can't wait. Well, Rob, I mean, we really want to thank you very much for taking the time, coming all the way from the factory 6 miles down the road, taking the time in your day to go over all the sub brands with us. Is there anything you want to tell our viewers before we finish this video?
You know, just the differences in our offering. So we've gone over what is our base in our Nash brand, great quality 4-season, well-built coaches, into the NXT, which again is that step up into the Arctic Fox trim level. So more standard features, more available options. As we transfer into the Edge platform floor plans, all the technology, all the options, all the standard features, they are absolutely the top of the food chain in the RV industry.
Well, thank you again for your time. And again, my name is Israel with Legacy Power Sports and RV here in beautiful Eastern Oregon. If there's anything that we could do to help you and yours get your new RV, let me know how we can help.
Awesome. Thank you guys. And again, Rob Miller from Northwood
Get me
Manufacturing.
out of. I mean, yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, right, Patty?